Peace and blessings, family. This is Mambo Hathor Erzuli Akhenaten, and we are on course number 2. Welcome to Indigenous Voodoo University. Today, we're going to be diving into the science of smoke magic, the do's and the don'ts. So stay tuned for this knowledge.
Couple of drinks, you get trans. Shake it down, make it go fast. Got a little something, girl, you can't pass it.
So when it comes to the science of smoking, as you can see, it's very, very vaguely used in our society. It's overused and abused, to be honest. If we look at ancient times when it came to smoke magic or the essence of smoke, period, that was always to communicate with spirit. Remember, smoke is the oxygen for the spirit. Okay, remember that. Now, when it comes down to who used to smoke, it was only spiritual leaders. We're talking about shamans, mambos, ugins, priests, priestesses. It was people of high ranking, leaders of kings, queens that only used to partake in the smoke, because let's remember, a lot of times there were either sigils or different blended herbs and different things to go into higher heights. Okay, to get premonition, predictions, things of what was coming next. So again, smoke magic is a sacred, forgotten practice. Okay, now when we move into it, if you're looking at the times we're living in now, it's very, very obvious. You look at everything from commercials to the music we're listening to the fashion world, to everything around us promotes smoke, 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 smoke. You ever wonder why that is, though? Smoking for recreation is only used when what happens? Humans encounter problems. And what is it? It's used as a recreational function for escapism from the problems. Your boss is getting on your nerves, your children getting on your nerves, you got relationship issues, you got financial issues, bills, trying to find a job, the whole nine, graduating, whatever it may be, you seek escapism from it. So that has a lot to do with what we deal with today. It encounters an energy of low vibration, and you put out into the atmosphere nothing but fear, pain, anxiety, okay? Helplessness, that kind of function. It no longer becomes sacred anymore, because all it's doing is putting out chaos into the environment, leaving everything at a low vibration instead of dealing with it in a way that is ritualistic, with intention, with purpose. Now, as we go into a lot of the reasons why many people have spiritual dis-ease, okay, or even physical dis-ease, is because the spirit works with smoke directly. Many a times, as I've observed, when spirit comes into possession, as we talk about indigenous voodoo, many times when they're about to mount and they come and they're there and it's strong, one of the first things you'll see, they will make a gesture like this, needing that smoke. Why? Something about the energy with the smoke calms and soothes the spirit. Why? It's their oxygen. Think about it. As soon as they start smoking, there becomes a calm over that particular spirit, so it can start to do the work that it's come to do most of the time. Okay, and if you pay attention to even go higher, most people who are highly spiritual mambos, ugins, people of high positions that do this kind of work, usually in their normal day-to-day life, they never smoke. They can't stand it. So it's very interesting how, again, in their physicality, the spirit works with them so much because they do that as a living within ceremonies and rituals that they do not smoke. Okay, now back to when I spoke about spiritual dis-ease. This type of spiritual dis-ease is what causes those curses, okay, cause those misfortunes that you can't understand or blockages and don't know where they're coming from. They cause all of those things because, again, if you do not have a purpose, it's like literally you're knocking on the spirit's door. And when they answer and say, "How can I help you?" you have nothing to give because you ain't placed no intent behind that smoke. You were using it just to say, I got problems, I got problems, I got problems, but spirit doesn't work that way. You must communicate exactly what it is that you have in store, whether it is an intention for protection or I need a better job or whatever your ritualistic purpose is at the time. You have an intent placed, and that changes the whole game in smoke magic. Now, let's get into exactly what the 3 atmospheres or 3 functions that are vital when we're talking about smoke magic and what they happen to influence in this body, okay? Inner and outer, to be honest. Now, when we look at it, 3 things I want you to pay attention to. Your ether is your soul. Your breath is life. Your brain is a virtual reality. I'm going to say that one more time, a little louder. Your soul is the ethers. Your breath is life. And your brain is a virtual reality. Now, why is that important? Because when you deal with smoke magic, you invoke and use all 3 of those to push forward the manifestation of what you're looking for in that ritual, in that ceremony, and so on and so forth. When you don't use it properly, you now actually put all of those 3 essences at a disadvantage in the physical body with your breath. Now, you may be more heavy in breath, have shortness of breath, which leads to the sicknesses, right? In your ether with your soul, you will feel jittery, or you may feel like something just doesn't feel right. You know, when you're just sitting there, something just don't feel right. I don't know, I just can't get right today. Everything I'm trying today just seems like it's a freaking, 110 on me. Like it's just weighing on me and I don't know why or where it's coming from. Or when you talk about what? The energy in essence of your very brain, the brain function. What keeps you going for the day? Your brain, you're always in your head about what you got to do, what you didn't do, what you need to be doing, what you should be doing. If that is clogged and foggy, how you going to function straight? That is your virtual reality. Now, when we talk about virtual reality, again, it's the perception. How are you perceiving the things that you're watching or the people you're encountering and having interactions with throughout the day? So if that is distorted and everywhere, if your breath shortened, hot, not feeling well, that kind of thing, if your ether, your soul, the real you feels in distress, feels out of pocket, uncomfortable, what are you now doing to yourself? You are causing pure, utter chaos in every which and sense of the way. Why? Because you're using your smoke magic inappropriately with no intent. Everything in this universe is energy. So if you're not, again, driving that energy into what it is you're going to do with your smoke, with that inhale, exhale, then you're setting yourself up for complete destruction, for utter continuous chaos, and even continuous spiritual curses. That is the science, if you will, or just giving you some backtrack, things to think about, a history of some sorts as to the importance of smoke magic. So when it comes to smoke magic, you can't even touch the things that are going to give you smoke without properly saluting and getting into the complete energy and environment, setting it up, if you will, to even get into touching the smoke. Now, first things first, you're most likely going to have a bell in your home, but in this case here, I have the cha-cha end bell, if you will. This is something that's used by, of course, Oogans or Mambos, different things of that nature. However, if you don't have this, it doesn't matter. Sometimes people just have the cha-cha by itself or the bell. Again, this is the invocation of sound. So how it's going to go is, first off, you're going to hold it. And you're thinking in your head, you're going to be going for about 3 minutes, okay? And really get it into the energy and the essence of the sound as to where you're going to be saying, first and foremost, as it rings directly in front of you, okay? So if it was your bell, same way, okay? You're going to say, honor and respect for all of those that walk in front of me. Okay, and in front of you, of course, this is directly in front of you that you're doing this. But before you really start getting into it, you start to ring it, saying you're calling all of the spirits, of course, all of those known and unknown, but again, in a certain order, because of course you have them environmentally all around you. So as you're shaking, you'll say, I'll be calling forth all of the ones that are in front of me. all of the ones that are behind me, okay? All of the ones that are to my left, and all of those that accompany me to my right, okay? So, you know, we just figuratively giving it. If it was a bell, you'd be shaking down, but I'm over here shaking to the side. So again, in front of you, behind you, to the left, and to the right, okay? And again, you just kind of get into that groove. You're listening to the sound. You're closing your eyes and just imagining this intention that you're about to be placing. So that's that first step. Now, second, what we're going to be doing is, of course, the essence of water is always insanely important in, of course, paying your respects to the ancestors, etc. The same function here is going to apply. How it's going to apply this time around, though, is first you're going to salute all of the energy and ancestors on your mother's side, and that will be to the right. Okay, so to the right belongs to your mother's side. You're going to be saying honor and respect to all of my ancestors on my mother's side. Then it will rotate onto the left. Honor and respect to all the ancestors on my father's side. And then in the middle or center, if you want to say in front of you, that is dealing for the unknown, those that are unknown to you. So right for your mother, left for your father, center is the unknown. Okay, so once that has been taken care of, the next function is we're going to be taking some Florida water. Now with Florida water, the best way to go ahead about this is you're going to put your finger, your index finger, just there, but not completely, just about halfway on there. So there's a little bit of an opening left here so that, of course, it can spruce out. And the way that's going to go is, again, you're still doing a saluting of the energies that belong to your mother's side, where, again, you're sprouting, so there should be a little bit of liquid coming out of there, okay? You'll be sprouting again, liquid coming out to the left, sprouting again in the center for the unknown. So to the right is mommy's side, to the left is father's side, and of course in the middle here or center is those that are unknown. Okay, so that's how that's gonna go. Now, when you're done with the Florida water, the next, as we're honoring still, as you see a 3-element energy going here, right? We're going to go into our rum. The rum now is going to be a little bit different, because we're going to be doing this where you'll be using the rum a little bit differently. So this, with the rum, you'll be doing a swig here, okay? So the first swig, all right? Going to mom's side. 2, father's side. And 3, for, of course, the unknown. Okay? Now, in moving forward, you're also going to be paying respect to the Loa. Okay? Papa Legba. Listen here. Papa Legba is going to go to your right, in which you're going to be doing the same thing. It's for the right. Papa Legba. Papa Legba, you're going to be asking, saying, Papa Legba, open the way for me. Papa Legba, open the gates, open the way for me. Now to your left is going to be for none other than Met Kafu. Met Kafu, help me and remove or push back any negative energy at this very moment in time. Okay, so Met Kafu again, the repellent, if you will, of letting no negativity come into your space of what you're about to do, okay, in your work. Now also here in the center, you will be doing the same and saying, Bawon Samedi, help and assist me with the ancestral passages. Okay, again, no ancestor really can reach to you if Bawon Samedi does not do what? Open the gates that he has to allow them the passage to come and assist you in your journey. So see how powerful that is. You gave them their respects first, but then now you go into the Loa, who each have their key and their domain to make sure that you're properly asking them to help you function within the ritual, within what you're doing. So when that now is all said and done, the last part here before we get involved will be with the ombre. Okay, with the ombre, what you're going to be doing is the same function of how you basically were dealing with that bell. You're going to be spraying in that same direction. And again, it's going to be honoring and respect all of the ancestors and energies that are in front of me. those that walk and accompany behind me, those that walk and accompany me to my left, and those that walk and accompany me to my right. Okay? So for all of those, you've got that front, that back, that left, and that right. Now all of your bases is covered. Aye, bobo. You feel that energy. You feel that presence. There's this aroma going. There's this energy. You're getting heightened and you're getting ready now to get into your smoke. Okay? Now and only now are you in the right frame and preparation energetically around you to get into the smoke magic where it now will not harm you. Now you can get into manifesting your magic with this. Okay? Now, with that said, where we're moving forward in this is, again, our cigarette. Now, with the cigarette, very, oh, you have to stop. Now that we are finally ready to go into our smoke magic, the first things first, let's explain the energy and importance of the cigarette. What role does this play? The cigarette in smoke magic is going to serve, when you're dealing in your rituals, your magic, your functions, as the opening. This is the opening because when you pay attention, cigarettes are some of the most easily accessible. You know, you could be on the street and the person sells you a solo, you know what I'm saying, one little function just so you can get moving for the day. So cigarettes are very common. They're easy to access, things of that nature. Spirit of all sorts in a way really uses, this is used for them in a sense as an opening. Okay, so this is going to be that opener where generally for whatever, you can open up with the cigarette. Okay, that's how that works. Now, when we go into our cigar, the cigar has a different purpose. The cigar is going to be what we call the agreement function, the laying down the law, creating what the agreement is going to be between you and said spirit, said energy. Okay, this is also going to seal the deal. If you pay attention in our society, whenever they want to close on a big deal, or it's been closed rather, they celebrate with what? A cigar. You ever wonder why? Nothing, I repeat, nothing is ever by coincidence. So the energy and the essence and power of the cigar, that's the purpose it's going to use. Okay, in voodoo, or when you say it in Creole, it'll be like règlement, which is, again, coming to create those agreements. What's the demand? What am I going to get? What are you willing to give? That kind of energy. The cigar. Okay, and then when we go into the hookah, okay, when we go into the hookah energy, okay, the blowing and the whole thing going with the hookah, this is going to serve the purpose of pleasure magic. So when we're talking more about lovers and the energy of sex and sexuality and spicing it up in the bedroom and, you know, tying down, solidifying an energy with a partner, however, but your pleasure magic, pleasure with oneself, even self-realizations that way, pleasure magic in the healing in sorts of senses. That whole vibe is going to be used by the hookah vibes. Okay, so yeah, that's the three different ways and interfaces that these particular functions to smoke can be used for. So again, a loi that deals with pleasure magic, you know, I mean, just a quick example, you know, your Gades, the Brigitte energy, things of that nature is going to get it going, and so on and so forth. There's many more, of course. You know, cigars, this is more an energy, a charge, power, things of that nature. This could definitely be more of a baon thing. This could be an ogu type of thing. Just a little vibe like that. And then the cigarettes, you know, everything from Ezeli Dantor to Ogu on back down again. This is the general purpose. So honestly, this is the opener of anyone, Legba, Kafu, so on and so forth. Okay, this that generalizer, if you will. So just giving you a taste on how the energy functions based on what it is you're choosing to smoke, based on the ritual, based on the altar type of work, the intention. Okay, so smoke magic has a lot more than one would think that is involved in it when you're dealing with it and knowing how to. All of it is a science. All of it is a formula. It is the formulas. That is the strength. That is the power. Now, when you've got yourself into the mode to actually go into smoke, one thing you have to remember is your smoke, from the moment that you inhale to the moment that you exhale, the only thing that you should be thinking about is positive outcomes. Positive outcomes. Contrary to belief where we usually hear, inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit. No. The inhale and the exhale equally need to be balanced out with the positive outcomes, okay? The positive outcomes, what you see manifesting from this smoke and this communication with the spirit. Remember, this is their oxygen. Do not waste their time and do not waste their oxygen, okay? So again, that is what you need to be focused on, whether it had been a cigarette, a cigar, the hookah, whatever function you're using, it's always going to still be one intent. As you inhale, as you exhale, what is it that you're manifesting? Stay focused into where you're trying to go in your magic to make sure you can get the positive outcome that you're looking for, okay? What you're truly here to manifest. So that's how that's going to go. Now, to go a little deeper, there is a certain positioning, of course, and there is a way that you salute, of course, with the cigarette. And stop, so you know. So again, what we'll be doing here before you start, okay, is that you could use, again, box of matches I always like more because you can get more manifesting going. When you strike that match, you can take you a nice breath. Put out that intent again. Positive income only, okay? Outcome only. I said income. Positive outcome only. And when you're done with that, of course, now you're at the time where I already have it lit. What we're going to be doing again is giving that energy, putting out that smoke out into the atmosphere. And we start off with in front of us, saying that all of my ancestors, all the spirits that walk in front of me, that's in front of you. You will do it behind you. All the spirits, ancestors that walk behind me. 4 puffs that way. To the left of me. And to the right. Same way. Now you have covered all of the coordinate points and you are now ready, almost ready I should say, to get yourself into whatever else you need to be dealing with in terms of your altar work or your magic, okay? This is the proper procedures that we're dealing with. We're going through the proper channel, okay? As you see, it's a ritual within itself before the ritual to properly go into your smoke magic. So now that you've activated all the proper protocols, okay, to get you into this smoke magic, your posture, your positioning is everything. You ever see in other different religions and different creeds or whatnot, they try to tell you, of course, we put our knees down, we kneel down before God. And if you're at the mosque, and same thing, both kneel down to get into prayer and to do whatever. Well, within indigenous voodoo, we take that kneel. The kneeling is similar to the positioning, if you take a look, of the swastika. Okay? Now, the swastika is nothing but a spiraling of energy that's continuously in movement, in rotation. And that is the same thing that happens on the inside of you when you smoke. It is that energy, that is that current function that's continuously spinning on the inside of you. That's why it is a make or break that you do it properly. Okay, now, if you are a person that writes with your right hand, you'll have your right knee bent. And if you're someone who deals on your left side of writing, you'll use your left knee in order to bend. Nonetheless, this positioning is a representation and a positioning that you are spiraling forward in your thoughts, in your movements. You are not wasting your essence, your ether, your breath, or your brain, that virtual reality that now as you smoke, you're going to release those powerful thoughts, mind frames, that virtual reality to manifest whatever it is that you're looking for with whatever Loa ancestor energy that you may be speaking with. Hence the reason now you can smoke freely and have no worries about any energy being out of funk or out of whack because you properly sealed yourself, your surroundings, with them in order to manifest whatever it is that your intent, whatever you're about to be placing in your magic. Now that, my brothers and sisters, is how you get into your smoke magic. Via what? That Indigenous Voodoo University. Class is in session. You better get this knowledge. Peace.
Dance, yeah. Couple of drinks, you get trans. Shake it down, make it go fast. Got a little something, something, girl, you can't pass.
Dance, yeah. Couple of drinks, you get trans. Yeah, shake it down, make it go fast. Got a little something, something, boy, you can't pass.
Voodoo dance, yeah. Couple of drinks, you get trans. Shake it down, make it go fast. Got a little something, something, girl, you can't pass.
Dance, yeah. Couple of drinks, you get trans. Yeah, shake it down, make it go fast. Got a little something, something, boy, you can't pass.
For sure, the beast live, you know you can't hide. Blaze it all up and you know we gon' ride. You wanna call him cause your body want it bad. Don't waste you want it, make the spirit twerk it bad. Who's running with me? Corner Bobby T. No pain, no gain, please don't fuck with me. From walking through valley, the shadow of death. The rhythm, the people, the spirit, the test. Street chief venom, so you know where my magic gon' keep dripping. Cause you know all the haters coming. We ride, we fly, you fake, bye-bye. The street, we rocks, you know.